Hi, this is Graphically Alex coming at you with all things fat related. If that's something that interests you, please subscribe. I'd love to have you. So today, what we're going to do is we're going to look at a mainstream media, I believe it's mainstream media newscast from Canada. So I've been talking a lot about America lately, so I thought we would go ahead and talk about our neighbors to the north today. But this news story is from 2014. And how I found it is essentially I searched in YouTube, is losing weight possible? Because I find so many times that media and institutions and all these different things, they will say that weight loss is impossible. So I was specifically looking just to see what I would find, because a lot of times I feel like I'm living in this alternate reality or something, because I keep being told that it is impossible to sustainably lose weight from a very big size. I keep being told that, and it keeps happening. So I just got to my lowest weight ever today, and it was having a emotional impact on me, as well as like different stuff going on in my body from going to the gym. It's summer, it's all this stuff. You know, my plateau is definitely ending, like I'm losing again. At least I have been. And so I'm dealing with all that. And I'm just sitting here and I'm like, how can people say that this is impossible when it's happening? And we'll see what they say. But we're not going to, it's a short clip. I'm not going to play the whole thing. We're just going to go through it together. This is basically a newscast I think. I mean, it says here CBC Canada, Radio Canada is a Canadian public broadcast service. So I'm guessing it's, more legit, so to speak. And I just want you to imagine watching this in 2014 as Marissa Matthews. Okay? And let's see what they say.
Even with diets, healthy eating and exercise, when it comes down to slimming down, keeping the weight off can be a major challenge. You might not like what you're about to hear, but experts say for most people, losing weight permanently is a losing battle. The CBC's Kelly Crow has the details.
So, already from that headline, what message did you guys get from that statement? We can see it right here too. Experts say it's nearly impossible to permanently lose weight. Okay? So just imagine being a fat person and watching this. So I have seen news stories like this so many times throughout my life. It has been like a constant, endless campaign to get me to believe that this is impossible. It's truly wild. But let's go ahead and see what else they have to say.
The headlines tell the disturbing story. A third of the world now overweight or obese, and action is urged on the obesity crisis.
So basically they're saying that at the same time that losing weight is impossible, people are gaining weight exponentially. So does this sound a little fat acceptance-y, right? It's possible to gain weight, but it's not possible to lose weight. This is mainstream media. This is like a mainstream type of thing. I think anyways. I mean, it says verified, so I don't know. I'm not super expert on Canada. If I have any Canadian people in my audience, you guys can let me know. But I'm just saying, just imagine watching this on TV and this is 10 years ago. What are you going to think about it? You're going to believe it. Absolutely.
But what action? Because according to much of the science, there's no going back. That for most people, weight gain is permanent.
If you look,
see, sounds fat acceptance, doesn't it? Super interesting. Now we're gonna see this guy. So I don't know what is with. I guess he's from like some university or something. Let's see who he is.
Weight gain is permanent.
If you look at the data globally, it is near impossible to keep weight off long term.
It's a fact that shocks his audiences whenever University of Alberta professor Tim Caulfield gives
University of Alberta. Okay, so he's some professor and he's just like, I know it's impossible to lose weight because study this, study that logic. Let's hear it.
Public lecture.
I think that's one of the reasons that the truth is not known, is that that's such a downer of a message.
But it's something obesity experts have known for years. It was back in 1959 when the first study warned that a majority of persons regain
Where have we heard this? Where have we heard this? Where have we heard this 1959 study? We've heard it from Fat Acceptance TikTok. This is 10 years ago. Almost exactly 10 years ago.
majority of the pounds lost. Since then, many other studies have shown the same thing.
The evidence.
Many other studies. I want to know how long those studies lasted. I want to know if they filtered out, did psych evaluations, made sure that people didn't have BED in those studies, which they probably did, in my opinion. That's my opinion. But we need to look at the methods and all that stuff. Did they do any psych evaluation whatsoever? Because again, there's a cyclical nature to BED. It's you restrict and then you binge. Then you restrict and then you binge. And you restrict and then you binge. It's a part of it. So if that's somebody's impression of a diet within a study, that's going to be a skewed data set. Okay, and what I'm doing here is I'm offering you a different explanation for the studies, which is why study this, study that logic is not always the best, because it requires interpretation and it requires questioning and it requires scrutiny. Otherwise, you can run with this and think that it's impossible to lose weight, even though it clearly is not impossible to lose weight. Always think for yourself. I will always advocate for that.
Could not be more clear. Long-term weight loss happens to only the very smallest minority of people.
So I am Clara Bow. I'm the special it girly pop. I'm the special one, according to this. And this is what they say. This is bad logic. In my opinion, it is just dumb. Full stop, dumb as hell. I'm here to tell you guys I'm not special. I'm not Clara Bow. I'm not this spectacular human being that I could just lose the weight and it was like that. I had BED for a lot of years. I went up and down many, many times. Many, many, many times. Over 15 years. 15 years. I want you to hear that. So they're going to tell you, and Fat Acceptance is going to tell you that I am the exception. I'm Clara Bow. I'm Taylor Swift. I'm the special it girly pop. When I'm telling you that's not true. 15 years of BED. Got over the BED. Got over the hypothyroidism. All of a sudden I can lose. But sure, it's impossible, right? I'm just the special one. I don't want you guys to believe that. I don't. It's not true. It is not true.
It is possible to lose weight in the short term, but it usually starts to come back after a year or two.
Okay, well, I've been almost 2 years since I lost my initial 30 pounds in 2022 on my thyroid protocol. So let's see if the weight mysteriously comes back. Are you guys ready to see the weight come back, even though I lost an additional 50 pounds last year? So am I supposed to suddenly start gaining back 30 pounds this year and then 50 pounds next year? What's going to happen? It's not real, you guys. It just isn't. But I want you to see the hopelessness that is pushed towards fat people. This is hopelessness. Absolute despondency.
The research suggests only about 5% are able to keep weight off over the long term. And after compiling all the data from long-term randomized
Where have we heard 5%? Can't tell if I'm watching the news or fat acceptance TikTok.
Controlled trials, researchers found the average amount of
Across the 21 trials, the average amount of weight loss maintained among participants in diet conditions from baseline to follow-up was 0.94 kilograms. Participants in the diet conditions averaged a weight loss of 1.49 kilogram. I don't know why I said that. Kg more than that of participants in the control groups. Results of the 21 included trials appear in table 2. So they're not really showing much here at all. You need to show the methods if you're going to do this, because what were your methods?
weight lost after 2 years was about 1 kilogram, or about 2 pounds.
2 years. Did they get into any reason why? Because I've lost a lot of weight in the past 2 years. I can assure you guys I've lost drastically more than 1 kilogram. So pick your poison. Is it the hypo issue? The cutting of the seed oils? You know, is this the assumption that you're going to eat as many seed oils as possible as you lose weight and it doesn't work? So is it the hypo angle? Is it the BED angle? Are they not screening people that have this disorder and they're in the studies? Or am I the special girly pop? Which one is most likely? You know, pick your poison. What do you guys think it is? What do you think? Why do you think these studies are saying this? Supposedly. Why do you think these studies are so clearly not reflecting reality? That's my question to you, because I honestly don't know right off the bat. These are just guesses that I have. But again, I like your guys' feedback. I like to think about what you say. So tell me what you think it is, please. I would love to hear your thoughts.
It's an uncomfortable truth emerging from the scientific research, something obesity experts don't often talk about.
If you go to these meetings and you talk to researchers, you get a sense that there is almost a political correctness around it, that, you know, that we don't want this message to get out there. You'll be in a room and with very knowledgeable individuals, and everyone in the room will know what
they don't want the information of fat acceptance to get out there, because it seems like it's been pretty hella astroturfed, especially considering the year. Fat acceptance took off massively in 2015. So I don't agree with that. I think some people will think there's corporate pushing. There's a lot of money in people being fat. I could see that too. I want to know if any of you guys have any other thoughts that are different, you know, that I haven't really thought of. But that's why I'm asking. Because it's interesting to me. Because was it all these news stories coming out and then that's what astroturfed all of fat acceptance, or what? It's interesting.
the data says.
Didn't Tess Holliday's campaign happen in 2015? F your beauty standards and all that. Am I getting that right? It was around that time. It's interesting.
Still, the message doesn't seem to get out.
Researchers are divided about the
Oh, well, it got out. It got out very well. But I don't know. You know, I heard it forever that it was not possible to lose weight. I heard it all throughout childhood, pretty much. I heard it throughout teenage years. I heard it throughout college. I heard it throughout the rest of my 20s. And I certainly have heard it after 2020. So let's consider that, you guys. How many of you have heard it's impossible to lose weight? Did that get out? Did you ever hear it before 2014? Or was that your first time hearing it? Because I heard it. I heard it a lot. There's a lot of, that's just how you are. You're big boned. All that kind of stuff. I heard that all the time. I didn't believe it. Not everybody believed it, but the message was out there. You know, fat acceptance was around in the 2000s. It was really cringe and it was seen as very fringy, which it still is cringe and fringy, in my opinion. I think it's just so astroturfed that it's become a part of mainstream society at this point, 10 years later. And obesity has absolutely skyrocketed even further. So it's just things that I'm thinking about.
reasons why most weight gain seems irreversible. They say it's probably a combination of biological and social forces.
Hypothyroidism, BED, food addiction. It's probably, you also have, there are social forces like fat acceptance, like this newscast in and of itself. This newscast is a social force. There's cultural norms, and I don't know about in Canada, but in the US for sure, of like people will try to sabotage your weight loss, or people get jealous, or they don't want you to lose weight, or they try to dissuade you. That happens a lot. I've heard a lot of people say that. And let me know if you guys ever had anything like that while you were losing weight, if you've lost weight. But I think it's like, sure, there are definitely social, cultural, and biological issues, but they all can be dealt with and should be. I don't know. Maybe a crazy concept. I don't know.
The fundamental reason, though, of course, is that we are very efficient biological machines, and we evolved not to lose weight.
There's been a shift in the language that
It's hypothyroidism and eating disorder behavior. I would say that when it comes to the whole we're designed not to lose weight, that doesn't make any sense, because when you're in a state of there not being food around, your body is designed to utilize the stored food. That argument never made sense to me. It still doesn't make sense, in my opinion. I think it's one of those fat acceptance folklore things that like your body is only meant to gain weight, not meant to lose it. Like the whole reason you have excess weight is to store energy. And if we couldn't utilize that stored energy, then we wouldn't be alive today, because people would have died. If there was ever any famine whatsoever, people would have died. So I just think it's so ridiculous.
obesity experts are using words like weight management and weight maintenance, reflecting a shift
Weight management and weight maintenance, meaning maybe that you have to manage your weight using pharmaceutical interventions only, because maybe there is money in it, or you have to maintain your weight so that you maintain the need for certain things. It's very interesting language, but apparently that's when this came in, was around that time. It's interesting from a historical perspective as well for me to see this. Like I literally just Googled or looked, is weight loss possible? And I got this video. So why is YouTube astroturfing it as well? It's interesting, isn't it?
towards prevention of weight gain and away from the difficult problem of weight loss. Kelly Crow, CBC News, Toronto.
Yeah, so they're saying don't tell people to lose weight. Why? I really want to know your guys' thoughts. I really do. This one, I don't really have any. I have ideas, but I don't have any preconceived notions because I don't really understand it. Especially in Canada, when they have socialized medicine, it doesn't make sense to incentivize this. So I really am questioning, what is the reasoning, you think? And why was there seemingly, I guess, a somewhat, global push for this around this time? So I'm interested in what you guys think. But go ahead and let me know your thoughts, and I'll talk to you guys again very soon. I hope you have a good rest of your day, night, whatever. Talk soon.